Hi, I'm Cece with Angel Radio Tarot. Hit that like and subscribe button. Oh crap, we're gonna kick right out here. See what's going on. We've got the Queen of Pentacles inverted. We're just gonna start throwing cards and see what's going on. I hope everybody's having a good day. Hey, if you're the first person to like, or the first person to comment, I don't know which way, you'll win a free 15-minute pre-recorded on YouTube. You get a YouTube link through the comments. Pre-recorded personal read. Any comment is great, but if you're the first commenter, you'll see if you're the first commenter. Knight of Swords. We got a message coming. Include on your first comment a question or a topic or what you want your 15-minute read to reference. You can get a specific question here, or you can ask for yourself or for a friend. Let's see what's going on. We've got our candles lit. Uh-oh, who was hiding? That was a flip. So we've got a Three of Cups. This is a pretty good scene. Let's see. Oh, I put that down, and the Queen of Pentacles did one of these numbers. Trying to get this so you can read it. I'm going to change the sheet. Change my tablecloth here. But it's Ganesh. It's a giant tapestry of an elephant head. So it's my Ganesh. Work, it's workspace. Right. For some of you, you're exploring the heritage of the gods of your family's religious tradition. Nine of Cups. So there's a wealth there. You're going through a period of, and when I talk to my elders, I grew up with, when people got white hair, they started getting religious. So, and what you're finding, here's the Hermit inverse. It may look like you're that way, but, there comes a certain age where your distractions are significantly reduced, and you got no time. You got no time for anything but thinking. You get so much time for thinking, and if you put any effort into it, all right. Oh, shit! Look at that. It does not want you to have access to what you have access to right now. All right, so this reading is for my elders that are coming into new spiritual access. And this was part of the downloads too. Some of you are coming into a period of darkness around new elevated access because you're accessing stuff that you didn't know about before. And so a lot of it feels unfamiliar. And what was that? What was that? You're being advised to just stay calm. Nothing's changed in the last 5 minutes. Your observations are your wisdom coming in. 333. Your observations are the result of wisdom. This comes from a lifetime of collecting data and processing, and you weren't expecting this. Most of you were not expecting this. Why I'm being asked why the new lean into religion? Because you don't know anything else. You haven't been trained in anything else. For some of you, this is your first access to even feeling like there is something else besides, something else on the outside, something else. And it doesn't have to do so much with you concerning about end of life stuff. This is here because you're in a phase of life where your responsibilities have changed, your time has changed, your freaking chemistry has changed. You've gone through the second puberty. You are a different person than you were 15 years ago. You were physically a different person than you were 15 years ago. You've gone through the change. Men and women. Men and women. Fellas, you're there with it. You're going through your second puberty. You are reaching from boy to man to, we have not bothered to name that space yet. It's something else. It's a protector gender. It's not, it doesn't have to be asexual, but it is a phase where we become overtly concerned with the welfare of the function of existence. Some of you are coming into a phase where prayer or meditation, however you name it, this is becoming a comfort to you. Certainly in a way you didn't expect. But for some of you specifically, you never imagined you would be the kind of person that would have any kind of spiritual insight. What you used to look at as powers, or talking to the invisible man in the sky, and you didn't feel connected to it, and now you feel your body vibrating with life because you're coming toward a vision of what this place would be without you. So a 9 of Cups. Some of you have never considered this before. Some of you had never considered a place without you in it. Let's see, a 9 of Cups. Concord, contentment, physical, I've got to look this up. Bien-être. Also, I don't even want to know really how badly I'm pronouncing that. Also, victory, success, advantage, satisfaction for you, or for whoever it is that you're thinking about right now. So there's a contentment, success, advantage. So what? Okay, so you're sitting pretty? Knight of Swords. I just got a wave of guilty conscience there. Knight of Swords. Some of you feel like you don't deserve what you have at this stage of life. Knight of Swords. It's in this upright position. You have accumulated all of this skill and bravery and capacity, defense. But at the same time, while those things are what you need for a new adventure, a new experience, this is also, it's got a really big fighting tone to it. Enmity, wrath, war, destruction, opposition, resistance, and ruin. You're so angry right now about getting old. Have you really never considered this before? Like, really? You've got a little bit of catching up to do. The current Dalai Lama has a great book out of what is it? Living Well and Dying Consciously, or something like that. Okay, so Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is sitting in her inverse here. Yeah, that's something you really should get onto as early as you can in life, is meditating the fact that you will not be here forever. And so when the time comes, you're not injured by the shock of what you perceive to be a sudden change and then turmoil because of that. If you can walk up to it slowly, it's a much better pill to swallow. Queen of Pentacles. And then when your time comes, you can be calm and present and aware and not trapped in turmoil of bad company because you didn't exit these people from your world before you got to such a vulnerable place. Queen of Pentacles inversed. Evil, suspicion, suspense, fear, mistrust. Yeah, for good cause. That's a really vulnerable place to be, and to have, essentially people that you already know you can't trust hanging out at your bedside. That sounds like a really awful last 15 minutes of fame. 3 of Cups here. Three of Cups. Expedition, dispatch, achievement, and it signifies also the side of an excess in physical enjoyment and the pleasures of the senses, right next to the inverted Hermit here. So there's some winding down. A dispatch, achievement, and the end. I'm feeling like you're pretty satisfied with what you've been able to pull off. Now, you're not at your end, but you are, if you're over freaking 40, you're starting to think about the it could happen any day thing. You start to live in that place where you cling to life because you're starting to feel how precious it is. But so this really throws me here. I'm going to have to read into this, because after all of that quiet revelation, the space that you're in, is it that you're worried about the devil? Are you worried about the afterlife? There's a Tower moment here, but it's inverted, which means to me that the devil does not have a grip on which way you go. The devil does not have a predetermination of you having a Tower moment. And to be sitting in such close proximity at such a vulnerable state in our conversation, that confirmation, I just feel like the screen just flipped on us. For that to be, God, yeah, wow. I'm so disoriented right now. My dog is whimpering in the background. Yeah, I'm not really sure what energy that was that just shifted, but it came in with the devil trying to confuse us about potential Tower. Why is the Tower moment inverted? I feel like there's some hijinks right here going on. I feel like there's some really nasty influence about the Tower. The devil wants us to think that we're free and clear, that you're free and clear of a potential Tower moment. Or maybe it wants you to wonder that, to be fearful of a Tower moment. It's almost like, oh, I'm just gonna leave this not quite Tower moment right here while I'm gonna come over here, but I'll just leave this right here for a second. It doesn't have to be yours. I'm just gonna leave it right here for a second. It's not even a temptation. It's just like a teaser to see if you've got any tiny little ounce of fear or guilty conscience. It's trying to tickle an insecurity somewhere. And it can't. And that's why it seems so odd that it's so, some of you are going to have somebody come in toward you that is going to seem so disjointed. And I had almost completely forgotten what we were discussing. The situation that you will be in, because I was consumed by the mood of the devil in this demi Tower moment. Are they going to come at you with a demigod? Someone's going to come to you in a vulnerable hour. Now, this doesn't have to be for your elders. If you are in a vulnerable position, if you are in a state of vulnerability, this is when this is coming in. The devil trying to create a Tower moment. How is this devil going to do this? This is a big deal right here, because this is what I'm getting is the Chariot. There's a delay here. There's a delay here. The devil is being delayed in executing this. Four of Pentacles. I got a big, strong whiff of my incense there. Let's get some more of that. Okay. Okay. Four of Pentacles. Suspense, delay, and opposition right next to the Chariot inverse. So there's a big invisible hand being mashed down on top of the devil to keep him from, to conceal from the devil what the impacts of his intentions are. Like he can't even get to us with the fear mongering. There's a huge hand being mashed down, holding back the effects of whatever it is he's doing until we're able to see through the ripples of the disturbed water, disturbed crystal surface, and see the devil on the other side peering into the looking glass, peering into this crystal ball, peering into, oh, clear that, clear that. The devil is standing over. I'm watching the inverse. I'm watching my own reflection in here. And it's the devil reaching through the glass going, watch this section right here. And you can see the devil going, just like, just heavy breathing over this thing, looking in and looking at you and me doing this, trying to peer through the fog, that fog of that task that was mentioned in the other read. Let's get a big clear. He can't see that we can see him looking. Okay. So I think we froze the energy. We froze it in place. So now we can continue just looking at the devil in that intention, at that moment of vulnerability for us, for you. And it's still now. It's frozen in place. So this hasn't happened yet. All right, what's going on there? What's going on there? Okay, before I drop this deck here. Okay. So we've got this package here. Well, we've got the devil frozen. There's going to be... Ooh. Well, the Page of Swords with some valor. Authority, Secret Service, vigilance, spying, testing and examining with the Ten of Swords. But the Ten of Swords is inverted. Advantage, profit, success, favor, but none of these are permanent. Also, there's some power and authority being exercised here. Heavy in the swords, geez. But this is that spy energy. But they're coming toward you. This isn't just an observing spy. This is someone that is wanting to get way up close to you. And control your wheel of fortune that just lands right in the middle of this. You're seated in Empress. So I'm talking to a matriarch right now. Or the mother, a mother figure. Or maybe you're the father, but you took over the role of mothering. And then the Ace of Swords. It's just like, blam, with the swords. a great amount of force, a tremendous amount of force being put behind this, both love and hate, but it's the same kind of passion for, but this disastrous passion. Another account says conception, childbirth, augmentation, and multiplicity. So this disaster, all of this passion that came out, and in passion, I mean like they'll do anything. They will do anything to make something good happen or to make something wicked happen. It's that same kind of, they're in the feels. They feel some kind of way. But it's just, again, with this, it's a temporary win. They may actually get their teeth in, but you are just sitting in this, this is what they're after, and this is what they're met with on the other side of trying to chew onto it. And it's because you are seated in this, in this idea that God, what is this? What is this? The great force in love and hatred, but the results are disastrous. You know better. You're not sweating this at all. Maybe you were. Well, now you definitely are not. You're in this mood of bring it, multiply that shit. Show me what you got. Throw it at me, 2002, 2202. Go ahead, bring it, motherfucker. What you got? Yeah, you are seated in all of this power. Like you are not even, you want to, 2222, you want to see exactly what the fuck they think they are going to get from you? What was that? I'm sorry, what? Okay, so we've unstuck the devil. We have moved the devil off of its spot. We have been able to come to a conclusion without revealing back to the devil that we can see him working against us, working toward us with ill intent. You have got a family member or family members or someone that is around you that is feigning being your closest aid. And you already know, and this wouldn't be coming up, again, this wouldn't be coming up and you wonder why people have fucking trust issues. If you're on this world long enough, here it comes, sorry, it just popped. If you are wondering why it is so fucking hard to trust people, but the older you get, history teaches you otherwise. I mean, like, yeah, you can say all that hopeful shit all day long, but history teaches you otherwise. You know what people will do when they are given absolute power, absolute authority. You see it when they think they have that absolute power and authority over your private life. All right. Some of you are just now figuring out that the people closest to you are your closest enemies. King of Cups. There's something left here. Why is this such a revelation to you now? What about this is causing concern? Because you're not anywhere near the Rainbow Bridge. You were nowhere near turning your coins in for sticks. No, that's not an issue. That's not an issue right now. But what is? Why? You're being called to clean house. You're being called to clean house There's some hijinks that's been going on behind your back. What's this King of Cups here? Because this is starting to get juicy. I'm feeling motivated. I'm feeling like I need some water. All right, let's see what this King of Cups has to say. Well, I tell you what. Some of these storylines, I can't make this shit up. But if I was a writer in Hollywood, I would be doing nothing but cruising the freaking intuitive sites for story ideas. You can't make these plots up. The complexity of the shit that comes rolling out the way it does. King of Cups. Dishonest, double-dealing, man, roguery, exaction, injustice, vice, scandal, pillage, considerable loss. We were just talking about Hollywood. And then there's some fucking hijinks people's going to jail over. Carousing, partying. This is some Diddy stuff. This is giving off heavy Diddy vibes right here. All right. Page of Pentacles. The Two of Cups. And the Ace of Swords. Let's read that through. I don't get that somebody's in danger so much. This feels like a grown-up party. Just like big time. Hard in the droogs. Hard in the DJs. Hard in the sexy party. Just like glam, glam, glam. Hard glam. And maybe this doesn't have to be Hollywood setup, but this is very glamorous. Glamorous time for you. A glamorous stepping out time. You're showing out like you have never. You partying at this time of year like you never. I don't get that this is a new partying experience, but just that this is, yeah. I'm overwhelmed with like, yeah. I mean, I can hang, I can put that show on all day long, but, that is not where I want to be. That is, you talk about flakes. You talk about people doing crazy shit at just like that. And like, it always ends up with, what I'm getting is that there is an ER, somebody's taking the bus to ER kind of vibe, like OD. There's OD kind of vibe right here. Page of Pentacles. Yeah, that shit made me nervous. Yeah, because there's PD coming after that. Somebody's watching that shit happen. Somebody's watching that shit happen. They either want to sell to you for that party to go, or they want to come get you and put you in the other bus and make you a guest of the state. Page of Pentacles. Prodigality, dissipation, liberality, luxury, but also unfavorable fucking news. And the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is one of the few of the minor arcana that does not have a reverse. It doesn't have a reverse. This feels like you should have known better. There's somebody's going to get bad news over this stuff. So, the Five of Wands in verse already tells us somebody's going to jail. So this is bad news is coming to somebody else, because it was up in here on the other row. It was sitting up here with our cups and our Ace of Swords. So, man, somebody that really wanted to fucking love you is hearing about this shit. Now, who is this low vibe? This devil? Is this person that we were trying to brush off? Yeah. Okay. So we're still seated, like whether you're an elder or you're just, maybe you're medically fragile, maybe you're a disabled person, maybe you're just in a state of vulnerability, 2929. You are a single person in a group. You're not yet part of the herd. You haven't been accepted into the herd of whatever. Maybe you're a temp. You are defenseless in a social setting or against a group. You are vulnerable to the evil intentions of someone who is hiding in a group or in a description of a career field, like nursing, like hospice. Uh, um, damn. Ace of Swords. But the ace is upright. So, triumph, excess degree in everything, conquest, triumph, force. Yeah, it's, again, this, we got this earlier in its disaster mode. But this is your win right here, because you're like separated from this. Something is buffering you. Again, this is that repeat of that energy of that devil and the attempted tower moment being heavily suppressed, and then doubled up. So I get that these are two different gods that are getting involved here. Two different gods, and they're making a point of that. 3113. They're making a point of that there is more than one force involved here trying to keep this wickedness from occurring. You are backed up and backed up. You got backup to the backup. And big guns. Big guns so big they're invisible. This is giving off Illuminati. This is giving off big Illuminati energy. I mean, who else would be involved on that level? Who else would be? The High Priestess. I asked the fucking question. So there's a female High Priestess energy involved here. And she's running the fucking show. Hey, girl. Oh, confirmation. Big plane out the window. Big chopper. Okay. High Priestess. This is one of the two energies that's guarding you. Or they both answer to her. These are her energies. She's, ooh, damn. These aren't her hands. These are the hands of the minor gods she rules over. She sent these dudes to you. They work for her. Damn. Ooh, flying out. King of Wands. Landed crossing over in support, or it's a kind of agitation. King of Wands. King of Wands. Reversed, good but severe, austere yet tolerant. This is her mood. She's a freaking game changer. Well, we got somebody hiding. Oh, look who's hiding. It's a celebration. Bitch. Whose win? It's hers. It's her win. Ain't nothing but wins. It's all W's. This is the almighty power. People make the mistake all the time of assuming that God is a woman, or God. 3333 was a holy time. I couldn't say it wrong. I can't lie to you. What I was trying to say is that that was blessed right the fuck out of my mouth. People make the assumption that God is a dude, or that the devil is a dude. And I'll tell you again, it takes like the first 40 pages in the Catholic's Guide to Angels and, like Angelology 101, that what we think is the devil and what we think is Lucifer are two different things, man. Two different things. And we've been hindering Lucifer's work to get shit back on track. Ooh! Look at that. Four of Swords inverted. But we got this. Look at here's the other half of. Oh, look at how it's reflected. That's why it comes in as two hands. Just like the Church of Christ has Father, Son, the Holy Ghost. it's the same energy in its different manifestations. And so that double press hand was these two gods manifested in the high priestess and the empress. And I'll show you here how they come in. They come in like this, as mirror reflected images. And I can tell you, I can testify that when good and evil are reflected through deep meditation, that they are often mirrored at each other. And you know, it almost looks like flames at the bottom here. And this sword energy, that we were having this Ace of Swords down here again, but down here for someone else, that shit's disaster. But that's our energy of, no, it was our King of Wands being over here. The austere but firm, no bullshit, tough love. And then what we're coming into over here, and you can, I don't know if you can see this. I'll change up. I'm gonna focus on getting a set of cards that is more easily seen from the camera. But so we have the High Priestess and the Empress are inverted, facing each other. That's their two hands manifesting of the High Spirit, and expressing, High Spirit expressing herself. Here they are, you know, they are seen in blue and red down here. And then here in this other reflection that we see that they are together. That they are together side by side in blue and red, celebrated on a different plane, way, way off in the distance. Because they operate in polar opposites, this is almost like an illusion of like the horizon illusion of boats resting above the water. You wouldn't be able to, this is an illusion that they're side by side, because they're giving us the game of a trick that they play, so that we get to see them side by side and expressed as people who are together. So we understand that they are one of the same. They're joined and waving to us from the distance, from on high. It even looks like the crest of a hilltop. We're still down below the ramparts, looking up on high at them. This beautiful unification. In paradise, in fact. Resting side by side. And then the Three of Cups with the King of Swords here. So the Three of Cups. Our Three of Cups here. Conclusions of a matter in plenty, perfection, and merriment. It's a big W. It is the celebration time. This perfect moment, this perfect grace, and victory and fulfillment, solace and healing. We're getting reiteration after iteration after iteration of perfect, peaceful grace. Perfect, peaceful grace. Perfect joy. Perfect harmony. And not heaven, but what comes after, when the ceasing of suffering after Judgment Day is past. When heaven and earth are unified, and Lucifer is returned to her rightful place as the guardian of the light of creation. And the deal between God and the jinn is finally broken and fulfilled. And it brings us perfect love. And yeah, all of that power, all of that love, and all of that hate, all of the passion of creation will come to an end. All suffering will come to an end. All conflict, all disagreement is absolved. It comes to an end. At Judgment Day, it all comes to an end. That's why God's so afraid of it. He'll lose his toys. The Four of Swords. Four of Swords. Wise administration, circumspection, economy, avarice, precaution, testament. There's this, I'm not saying that, you know, the Christian God is bad, but I'm saying that there's an inversion of ideas about what is good and evil. And what is the cause of suffering? Yeah, this is becoming a large question for a lot of you about what is good and evil. Am I on the right side? Am I on the inside or the outside of that 40-foot chain link razor wire fence? And how do I know? This whole reading has been about questioning, you know, the standing on knowing your own mind, questioning how you know what you know, because for many of you, you're realizing that you relied on an opening opinion of a stranger that seemed to have some moral compass similar to yours, that you could rely on their judgment of people that you didn't know. And you're figuring out after all this time that that person that advised you is not trustworthy. And returning to a reliance of your own judgment. We got the Empress here, the Four of Wands, and the Six of Wands. The Four of Wands are inverse, so I want to see it out that way too. There's just been this whole independence of personal accountability. Not relying on other people to tell you. Oh, it's easy to say, oh, I don't let people tell me what to think. But we do let, 4141, we do let other people tell us what to think until we know otherwise. The Four of Wands inverse, the meaning remains unaltered. It is prosperity, increase, felicity, beauty, embellishment. And the Six of Wands, it's just this emperor, or this empress right here with our mirror image of our gods manifested as the High Priestess and the Empress. The Empress is the one that comes to us in physical manifestation. The High Priestess stays hidden. That's the Holy Spirit part of that. And then the Six of Wands, because you can be told all day long that this God is mean and nasty and this God does this loving shit. But you know what the true God is. The one true God is the one that seats in loving compassion. Six of Wands. Six of Wands. And some of you can say that compassionate God that you have such faith in provided for Judgment Day to come to end the suffering of creation. Six of Wands. The Six of Wands and it's upright. It covers a couple of different significations. A victor triumphing, but also great news. And it's the King's courier. It's unusual to have a card that is not a knight and not a page, that carries such an emissary kind of service, specific appointed service to the king. It's great news. Of course it would be carrying great news, such as might be carried in state of the King's courier. But this is a civilian. This is an emissary. But they're so disciplined. Look at how disciplined and military feel that this civilian is taken on. There's such a humility about the import. Such an honor in being appointed to something so critical. So what is so critical? It's an expectation crowned with its own desire, the crown of hope, and so forth. Part of the read earlier today was about the hope that we carry, the hope that we have for other people. You know, when we get into a conflict and we're struck with being frozen with anger and shame, it's because our gut chakra is being blocked, and we don't have free will. That is blocked by shame and anger. If you're moving all day through something freely, you don't think anything about it, you go along, you have free will. You have free will power, and you're exercising moving forward without obstruction. But the first time we get obstruction, we feel hopelessness. We are caught up with shame. We are caught up with accounting for that hopeless feeling with, what have I done wrong, or what have you done wrong? And then, you know, sometimes our conflicts come over where we have to step aside from hoping that we can reconcile with our enemy so that we can move around that conflict and move forward. That's a different kind of hope. That's a hoping that comes, that sustains in the darkest of dark. In the darkest of dark. And that's why when we're in the darkness of grief, getting lost in hopelessness is allowing ourselves to submit our complete entire future selves to that one failure, and to reside in a like a 4-second video loop of an emotional freeze frame. And it is that part of our ego that we were clinging to try to save in that fight that we can't keep anymore, probably because it doesn't serve us anymore. An ego death of some kind. And instead of letting go and moving on and exercising willpower to move around it by finding an alternative, we submit the rest of our existence into repeating that 4-second loop of thrashing about in resistance to the death of that ego state. And you get to live there for the rest of whenever your physical body gives up. That's getting lost in hopelessness. You can grieve, and that's grieving is good. Grieving is necessary. But it's an illusion, and it's just a space that you get to occupy to heal. So the 8 of Cups, the 8 of Wands, and the Moon here. And if that moment is what you want to live in for the rest of your life, that loop will continue to play until it overwrites and overwrites your entire rest of your existence, until you forget that you were ever anything except for that loop. That's what bitterness is. And then, that's you get locked in spiritual poverty. Absolutely. That's a side note to what this is. This was just picking up on the conversation it was feeding me. And then, look at that shit. Here's our read, right? We got this nice little set here. I haven't quite got to, but it's been giving us a nice narrative. And then I just marvel in this shit because I don't have any control over it. It is just as much of a marvel to me. But it is paired so neatly with, you can have this, or you can have this. You can have this, or you can have this. You can flourish and have all 10 of your cups sparkling in a rainbow, or you can live on the street in the winter with no fucking shoes and a busted leg, and a dusty or a tramp, hoe, scab nasty scrub. It's your choice. It's your choice. That's what happens. That's what happens. Take it or leave it. It's up to you. That's the free will you get. You don't get to necessarily manifest your dreams. You don't get what you want all the time. You don't get what you want all the time. But when you get handed something, it's what you do with it. It's what you do with it. If it doesn't serve you, some of you are being advised to let go of what does not serve you at this time. That now is the time to drop those things. If you want to be free of it and just now is the time to do that. It's always now is the time. No matter where you find yourself, now is the time to clean house. No matter when you find yourself, now is the time to clean house. There are no more illusions. You can't unsee what you, I mean, you kind of can. You can go back to sleep. You can sure as fuck go back to sleep. Till it hurts enough where you're going to do something about it. But Spirit wants you here and will keep pushing you. Well, I was taught in a Christian church as a kid, don't ever pray for patience because God will test you until you learn it. Yeah. So 8 of Wands. The 8 of Wands inverted. There's arrows of jealousy, internal disputes, stings of conscience, quarrels. Yeah, we are all just all up in our head with this, trying to decide. It's not the Tower moment, because the devil was being suppressed from bringing a Tower moment. His presence was there, but he wasn't able to manifest the Tower moment without your consent. This choice, this direction that you're at, this doesn't feel like you're at any kind of a pressured crossroads. You're not having a crossroads deal happen. But this is a thing of like more like a cyclic existence. And when we started out, it was somebody else that was locked into a crossroads deal. And they were trying to bring the devil in. They were trying to bring the devil in. They were trying to be a pusher for the devil's agenda. They were trying to prepare you for the devil getting close enough. He couldn't have just walked up to you. You would have seen him run off the bat. No, they had to get accustomed to what your game plan was and to feel you out a little bit. And now they're ready to bring at you with devil energy because they think they know what they've got to do. But the 8 of Cups, and 8 of Cups is in its upright, giving joy, mildness, timidity, honor, and modesty. It's usually found that it shows a decline of a matter or a matter which has been thought of important, but it's really it's not a big deal. You know, of course, the things, our perspective changes as we gain little tidbits of knowledge. So this is making a point of saying that this may not have been something that you'd considered before, or this might not have been a person that you'd considered before. But the even in its inverse, you know, this card gives great joy and happiness and feasting. So this, you know, this is the relief of an issue. This is the release of, we were talking about cleaning house, man. This stuff is not as important to you to hang on to or to fight for as you thought it was. There is some other shit that needs to go down. And as you increase your meditative priorities, your spiritual priorities, the things that you clung to before in cyclic repetitive existence, you're done with those things now and you're ready to let go of them. There are partly because you have finally, you understand what people mean about create a vision of what you want your future to be. And where before you were like, oh, it's always just bad choices. It's just, I don't have any good choices to fucking pick from. Fuck you guys. Now it's because you have been around enough to see without jealousy and without envy what good choices can bring you, that it does flourish, that it does create something better, and you found your way out of the crab bucket. You got a little bit under you. You had enough faith not to step on your own dick again. This circular, cyclic existence, because you just fucking believed it. You never actually seen anybody pull this off. But you just wouldn't fucking let it go. You, God damn it, you knew there was something there. Why the fuck do people keep talking about it? And you went and found it. All right, well, that's all I have for now. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and come back soon. We've got plenty of videos and shorts for you and everything coming out every couple of days. And if you're the first to comment, make sure you include your question or your topic that you want to have your free pre-recorded personal read done around. So we'll see you soon. Take care. Thanks for coming.